David, do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
You can't take Crawford's skill away. You know, you have to give him credit for his skill. He's an amazing fighter. He's an amazing technician in the ring. And
Benavidez is like 6 foot something. You know what I mean? Then he gonna come in 190 or 200 probably. You know what I mean? Like you never know. Like that's a big dude. Like you know what I mean?
And he's skilled, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
After defeating the kingpin of boxing, Terence Crawford's team now has their eyes on a new beast, David Benavidez. The same David Benavidez that Canelo avoided for years is suddenly front and center on Crawford's radar.
I think it's like 64.
David, do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
Nah, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 175.
We all knew Crawford didn't chase Canelo for money. He chased him for legacy, for greatness, for a chance to etch his name in history. And now, to keep building that legacy, Team Crawford is looking at the monster of 168, the man they call the Mexican Monster.
Is there anyone you'd want to see Bud fight in this era that you think, you know what, that'd be a great fight?
Well, I would say Benavidez, but he's too, you know, that weight class is too high for him. So, you know, where he's at now is great.
If this fight goes down, it has to be at super middleweight, Benavidez's natural home. But here's the twist. Crawford already showed at 168 that he's not just surviving, he's thriving.
Hear me out here, Kamaru. Terence Crawford versus the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was the mandatory for Canelo.
Oh my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. Dude. The reason why he went up because nobody wants to fight him.
Against Canelo, Bud looked like a flash of lightning. Too fast, too slick, too sharp, leaving Canelo swinging at shadows. That same speed, that same ring IQ against a naturally bigger, relentless Benavidez. That's the type of clash that flips the whole boxing world upside down.
He's talking about Crawford.
Oh, Crawford and Benavidez.
He said he wanted that Benavidez to make 168 with the dick in the mouth.
And he was like, nah, we don't want to do that.
I just think Benavidez, he's like what, 6'5", 6 something like that. He's a big dude, bro.
Turki Alalshikh is all smiles after Crawford's big win, and now he's stirring the pot on social media. He just hit X with a spicy post asking, can David Benavidez still make 168 pounds? A clear hint that Crawford versus Benavidez might be on his mind.
Turki Alalshikh posted on social media asking if David Benavidez is still capable of making it down to 168. Now, we're not sure if this little tease that Turki made was targeted as a hint for a future fight between Crawford and Benavidez, or Canelo versus Benavidez.
But here's the catch. Benavidez doesn't look too interested in fighting Crawford. Sounds familiar, right? The same thing happened with Canelo. At first, he rejected the idea of Bud, but when a shiny $150 million check got waved in front of him, suddenly it turned into the biggest fight of his career. That's the power of Turki Alalshikh. When he flashes that kind of money, every fighter in the sport forgets their doubts real quick. Legacy talk is nice, but those 9-figure checks, they turn not interested into where do I sign?
I don't feel like Bud needs a Benavidez. And then that would mean Benavidez would have to go into a different body and bring himself back down to 68 when he's already getting settled in at 175. That's just Turki trying to pull rank. Turki trying to show he got a golden arm. You know what I mean?
Alright, so here's where it gets wild, because right after all that talk about Turki waving money around, Crawford finally lets us peek into his own head about Benavidez. And you can feel it, he respects the monster, but he's basically saying, yo, that's a heavyweight in disguise. I mean, Bud straight up jokes like, I might as well fight heavyweights if I take this guy on.
But if you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look
right now, it's at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no.
And honestly, he ain't lying. Benavidez walks into the ring looking like he just ate the cruiserweight division for breakfast. But here's the kicker. Crawford still believes he's got the edge in speed, timing, and pure skills. That's Bud's confidence, man. He'll size you up, call you big, call you dangerous, and still find a reason why he can take your lunch money. And let's be real, that's why people love him. He's not ducking the challenge, he's just breaking it down like chess.
When you look at these fights, you know, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, you know, say, all right, you know, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off. You know, me personally, I believe in my skills and my ability that I can beat anybody.
Big pieces, small pieces, it doesn't matter. Crawford thinks he's the one moving the board. And tell me that ain't hilarious. Bud looking at Benavidez like a skyscraper, but still asking, what floor do I knock you out on? Man, only Crawford can make fighting Goliath sound like just another day at the office. And just when Crawford had us all buzzing with his thoughts on Benavidez being a giant in disguise, Robert Garcia jumps in with a reality check like the guy at the barbecue who tells you your plate's too full.
Do you think he should have maybe fought Benavidez instead? Maybe that would have been a better fight for him?
Who?
Benavidez.
Oh no, Benavidez would destroy him. Not even close. Just like Benavidez would destroy Crawford.
I'm not gonna lie, hearing him say Benavidez would destroy both Canelo and Crawford had me spitting out my drink. Like, chill coach, let us daydream for a second. But I get it, Garcia ain't sugarcoating. He's basically telling us, look, Crawford is a generational talent, but Benavidez is a different type of monster. And honestly, you and I can admit it. That's the fight where size and raw power start making Bud look human. Still, you gotta laugh at how Garcia dropped it though.
There's no chance. There's no chance. Benavidez is too big, too strong, too fast for these guys. Benavidez would beat these two guys, I would say, easy.
Man didn't even hesitate, just shut it down like a dad turning off the Wi-Fi when you're gaming too long. But here's where I'm at. Yeah, Benavidez is a beast, no doubt, but every time we say someone's too big, too strong for Crawford, he pulls another magic trick and makes legends look like sparring partners. So, would I pay to see it? You bet your last pay-per-view dollar I would.
And like I said, Crawford is one of my favorites of all times now because of what he just accomplished, what he just did. But Benavidez is too big for him, too fast, too strong. I wouldn't even want to see it. Canelo, Benavidez beats him too.
Man, Robert Garcia already had us clutching our plates at that barbecue with his reality check, and just when you think it can't get spicier, boom, Sugar Shane Mosley slides in with the hottest take of the year. This man straight up says Crawford might be better than Mayweather. I had to pause my video and sip some water because that's the type of comment that gets boxing fans throwing furniture across the living room. And the best part, he wasn't even hesitating. He broke it down like, look, Mayweather's technical, but Crawford, he's got those long arms, old school grit, and he'll fight you anywhere.
After the fight, Canelo was like, you know, he's better than Mayweather. So, you know, maybe it was just different because Crawford's arms are long. His arms are really long, so it's kind of hard to hit him. But no, he did everything, man. He's the man.
You can't even argue too hard because you know deep down, Shane's got a point. Now imagine the debate tables, Skip Bayless somewhere sweating, Max Kellerman cooking up a soliloquy, and your uncle at the barbershop yelling 49-0 with veins popping. This convo isn't ending anytime soon, and that's what makes it legendary. And then, Mosley casually sprinkles in the Canelo retirement talk, like it's just another Tuesday. Like, yeah, Canelo's done enough. Maybe it's time to train fighters. Maybe even fight Jake Paul for $100 million.
What about Canelo? Do you think he should retire?
Yeah, I mean, Canelo is more so into training, probably fighters and helping people. You know, it's like he already did what he needed to do. There's nothing really more he can do in the sport.
Bruh, only in boxing do we go from talking GOAT debates to imagining Canelo slapping Jake Paul around for Netflix views. That's the beauty of it, you and me. We're watching history flip in real time. Crawford proving he's different, Mayweather's shadow still looming, and legends like Mosley telling us the truth with a grin. And if Canelo really did lace up against Jake Paul, the internet would shut down faster than Ticketmaster on a Taylor Swift tour. That's the kind of chaos boxing fans secretly live for, whether we admit it or not.
Would you think Bud would retire? I didn't actually ask you that. Do you think Bud could call it a day?
He probably will retire for a year, maybe. If he does, a year or 2 years, like that, right? A year. But he's coming back.
Yeah.
He's coming back. He's a fighter. He's coming back. Come on.
And right after Shane Mosley dropped that bomb about Crawford maybe being better than Mayweather, Simon Jordan comes in with the accountant energy like he just opened the purse contracts himself. And you know what? He's not wrong. Canelo strutted out of Vegas with a bag so heavy he probably needed a forklift, $150 million. Meanwhile, Crawford, who actually pulled off history, walks out with $50 million. Don't get me wrong, 50 mil is still buy an island and never come back money, but compared to Canelo's haul, it feels like Bud brought the masterpiece and Canelo got paid for framing it. That's boxing for you. Skills pay the bills, but superstar branding builds the mansion.
Sal Alvarez has been able to sell himself in such a way because of his personality, because of the nature of the relationship with the Mexican contingent, his relationship with the broadcasters, whereas Terence Crawford has travelled a little bit under the radar, always been seen. He doesn't have the biggest of personalities, so he doesn't sell himself in that certain way.
And I gotta say, I felt Simon's frustration when he clowned the scoring and even roasted Max Kellerman for asking about retirement right after the biggest win of Crawford's life. Like, bro, the man just cemented his name in the Hall of Fame, and your first question is, so when's the goodbye tour? That's like asking Usain Bolt if he's done running right after breaking the world record. We gotta live in the moment, man. Crawford just pulled off the kind of win that shakes up the whole sport, and instead of savoring it, they're already rushing him off stage. If anything, Simon was right. Forget the check size, forget the flawed scorecards. This was one of those nights where boxing fans should just sit back and appreciate greatness.
The fact is the only thing I found controversial about it was the appalling scoring. I don't know how anyone, I mean, the AI scoring was just as bad because it came up with a draw, but the actual, this wasn't a close fight.
Well, the AI scoring, you're right.
It as a draw.
The AI is meant to be the ultimate judge.
Yeah.
114, 114.
No, the other judges scored it 115, 113. There was miles apart.
Alright, so here's how we wrap this one up. Crawford just flipped boxing on its head again, and now the whole sport is buzzing about what's next. Is it Benavidez? Is it another legacy fight? Or does Bud just chill on his throne and let everyone else chase him? Either way, this era feels special, man. We're witnessing a fighter who's rewriting the rules in real time. And the debates? Oh, they're only just heating up. Crawford versus Benavidez, Crawford versus Mayweather comparisons, Canelo's future. It's like boxing's got more storylines than Netflix right now. But hey, that's where you come in. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I know y'all got some fire takes. Does Crawford really have what it takes to handle the Mexican monster, or is Robert Garcia right and size finally catches up to Bud? Let's get that debate rolling. And yo, don't ever forget, like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. We're just getting started. In the next one, it's gonna be even crazier. See you in the next one.